I'm Faye What, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Ex-conversion therapy leader Alan Chambers arrested on minor solicitation charges. Alan Chambers, the former president of the once prominent ex-gay Christian organization Exodus International, has been arrested in Florida on charges related to soliciting sex from a minor during an undercover police operation. According to Orange County court documents, Chambers was arrested Tuesday by the Orlando Police Department and charged with solicitation of a minor via computer, sending harmful material to a minor, and illegal use of a two-way communication device. An affidavit obtained by local ABC affiliate Channel 9 Orlando News explains how the investigation went. A detective posing as a 14-year-old boy on Snapchat was contacted by someone identifying himself as a 50-year-old man named John David. The conversations later moved to Telegram and text messages and continued for several months. Police alleged the suspect repeatedly discussed meeting in person for sexual activity and expressed concerns about the age difference and potential legal consequences. Detectives linked the Snapchat, Telegram, and phone accounts to Chambers. Authorities said Chambers admitted to communicating with someone he believed to be 14 years old, but declined to answer additional questions after his arrest on May 19th. Baby, the call is coming from inside the conversion camp, okay? Every time one of these pray the gay away leaders gets exposed, I'm reminded repression is not rehabilitation, okay? And the hypocrisy is so loud, it needs its own podcast. Yeah. Stop letting shame-based family value crusaders lecture us about morality. And by the way, not a drag queen and not a trans person.
Well, first off, there is no excuse for this crime. Child predatory behavior is not acceptable at any level, whether you're gay, straight, and it's mostly straight, no matter what. However, this goes to show that when you fuck with someone's mind, when you try and do things to them, to guilt them, to make them do these mental aerobics, there is permanent damage that is done. And this should be a warning call for anybody who is even thinking about sending their child to one of these camps that he used to run, because your child will come out much, much worse than when they went in.
I agree. The point I was going to make, and I am not a psychologist, I'm an armchair psychologist, but from what we see around us is the people who we probably have all kind of messed around with, those guys that are on the down low, that are repressing their sexuality. When somebody doesn't feel that they have an outlet to just be themselves, it does F with the brain.
Yeah.
And then any situation that they can kind of take advantage of, whether it's a kid in that maybe their parents don't know, or they can kind of get away. They find these kind of seedy avenues to try to find somebody else, and then they get into more trouble with it. You know, I remember when my mother found out I was gay, I told her, and she was saying, "Can't you just marry a woman and just kind of do some things on the side or whatever?" And I'm like, why would I ever put a woman through that? Living out loud is what keeps me sane and keeps me to making good decisions. The people who are on the down low, who are ashamed of themselves, they also put themselves in a lot of risky sexual situations to where they can contract certain diseases or viruses or something like that, and it hurts our community in every way. It hurts society. So please, Catholic Church, allow your priests to marry, allow people to be themselves, and the world will be a better place.
Well, you think about these people that sit in positions and, as I would say, judge us or tell us that what we're living morally wrong. But how many people have we seen in powers of position to say that, then they get caught?
And then they get caught.
And
again, like Trini said, because a lot of people are repressed. And unfortunately, I mean, look, Grindr was almost taken down at the Republican National Convention, right? Those are people that are hiding who they are. And it's not a joke. It's the truth.
Right.
And people lash out and do awful things to people that they can control, i.e. women, children, things like that, you know? Well, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.